I'm 93 years old, and I wasted 40 years of my life chasing something that didn't exist. Not money, not success. Something worse, something that destroyed my first marriage, cost me my relationship with my kids, stole decades I'll never get back. And the worst part, I see you making the same mistake right now. Let me tell you what I was chasing, and why it almost killed me. My name is Margaret. I'm 93 years old, and I spent 40 years of my life waiting to be happy. Not living, waiting. Waiting for the right moment, the right circumstances, the right conditions. I told myself, I'll be happy when I lose 20 pounds. I'll be happy when we buy a bigger house. I'll be happy when the kids are older. I'll be happy when we have more money. I'll be happy when I retire. I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when. And you know what happened? I got all those things, lost the weight, got the house. The kids grew up. We saved money. I retired. And I still wasn't happy. Because happiness was never at the end of that sentence. It was never waiting for me after I achieved the next thing. It was here the whole time. And I missed it. I missed 40 years of my life waiting for a feeling that was already available to me every single day. And I'm watching you do the same thing. I see it everywhere. I'll be happy when I get the promotion. I'll be happy when I meet the right person. I'll be happy when I move to a new city. No, you won't. You'll just find something else to wait for. I'm 93 years old, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I wasted 40 years, and how you can stop wasting yours before it's too late. It started when I was 25 years old. I got married to my first husband, Robert. Good man, loved me. We had a nice little apartment, nothing fancy, but it was ours. And I remember thinking, I'll be happy when I lose this weight. I'd gained 15 pounds after the wedding. Not much, but I convinced myself I couldn't be happy until I lost it. So I started dieting, counting calories, weighing myself every morning, and Robert would say, "Maggie, let's go dancing tonight." I'd say, "Not until I lose this weight. I don't want people seeing me like this." He'd say, "Let's take a trip to the beach." I'd say, "After I lose the weight. I'm not wearing a bathing suit looking like this." He'd say, "Let's just enjoy dinner together." I'd say, "I can't. I'm on a diet." I spent 3 years waiting to lose 15 pounds before I'd let myself enjoy my life. And you know what? I finally lost the weight. Took 3 years, but I did it. And I wasn't happy. I just found something else to wait for. Now it was, I'll be happy when we have a bigger place. Robert wanted to go out, wanted to travel, wanted to live. And I kept saying, not yet, not until. I wasted the best years of our marriage waiting to be thin enough, pretty enough, perfect enough to deserve happiness. And by the time I realized what I was doing, he was gone, not dead, just gone, tired of waiting for me to show up to my own life. We divorced when I was 35. And you know what he said to me? "Maggie, I've been trying to make you happy for 10 years. And I finally realized you don't want to be happy. You want to wait to be happy. And I can't wait anymore." That broke me. I remarried at 38. Man named Thomas. Hard-working, practical. We were good together. And I told myself I'd learned my lesson. I wouldn't waste this marriage waiting. But I did. Just in a different way. This time it was money. I'll be happy when we have more savings. I'll be happy when we can afford a nicer car. I'll be happy when we're financially secure. Thomas wanted to take trips, wanted to go out to nice dinners, wanted to enjoy the money we were making, and I'd say, we can't afford it. We need to save. We had enough. We always had enough. But I convinced myself we needed more. I remember one time, Thomas wanted to take me to New York for our anniversary. Had the whole trip planned. Hotels, shows, everything. And I said no, said it was too expensive. Said we should save that money for something important. You know what we saved it for? Nothing. It just sat in the bank. And 10 years later, Thomas had a stroke. He was 62 years old. He survived, but he was never the same. Couldn't travel anymore. Couldn't do the things he wanted to do. And I sat in that hospital room looking at him, realizing I'd said no to every trip, every dinner, every experience, because I was waiting for some magical moment when we'd have enough money. We had enough. We always had enough. But I was so busy waiting for more that I missed what we had. Thomas died 5 years later. We never took that trip to New York. And the money I saved? I spent it on his medical bills, then on his funeral. All that saving, all that waiting. And for what? I would give every penny I have to go back and say yes to that trip. But I can't. I had 2 kids with Thomas, Sarah and Michael, and I told myself, I'll be happy when they're older, when they're out of diapers, when they're in school, when they're teenagers, when they're in college, when they're independent. Always when, never now. I spent their entire childhood waiting for the next phase. When Sarah was a baby, I couldn't wait for her to walk. When she could walk, I couldn't wait for her to talk. When she could talk, I couldn't wait for her to go to school so I'd have time to myself. And then she was gone, off to college, then married, then living 3 states away. And I realized I'd spent 18 years wishing time would go faster, and now I'd give anything to have it back. Michael, my son, he asked me once when he was 7 years old, "Mum, can we go to the park?" I said, "Not today, honey. I have too much to do. Maybe this weekend." Weekend came. Maybe next weekend. Next weekend came. Maybe when it's warmer. And then he stopped asking. By the time he was 12, he didn't want to go to the park with me anymore. He wanted to be with his friends. And I missed my chance. I was so busy waiting for them to grow up, waiting for life to get easier, that I missed them being young. I missed the moments that mattered. The moments I can't get back. Sarah called me last year. She's 48 now, has kids of her own. She said, "Mum, I don't remember you playing with us much when we were kids. You were always busy, always stressed, always waiting for something." And she was right. I wasn't present. I was waiting, always waiting for the next thing. And now my grandkids are growing up. And I'm not making the same mistake. When they ask me to play, I play. When they want to show me something, I stop everything and look. Because I learned the hard way. Childhood doesn't wait for you to be ready. The last trap I fell into was retirement. I'll be happy when I retire, when I don't have to work anymore, when I have all the time in the world. I worked as a nurse for 35 years, long shifts, hard work, but I was good at it. And for the last 10 years of my career, I was miserable, counting down the days until retirement. Just 5 more years, just 3 more years, just 1 more year. My co-workers would invite me to lunch. Not today, I'm too tired. Maybe after I retire. My friends would invite me on trips. I can't take time off. I'm saving my vacation days. We'll travel after I retire. My sister wanted me to visit her in Arizona. After I retire, I'll have all the time in the world then. I retired at 65. Finally, the moment I'd been waiting for. And you know what happened? My sister died 6 months later. Heart attack. She was 63. I never visited her. I was waiting until after I retired, and then it was too late. I had all the time in the world, and nobody left to spend it with. Thomas was gone, my sister was gone, half my friends were gone, and I realized I'd wasted 10 years waiting for retirement, thinking that's when my life would start. But my life was happening the whole time, and I missed it. I'm 93 years old now, and I've been retired for 28 years. And you know what I learned? Retirement isn't the answer. It's not some magical moment when everything gets better. It's just more time. And if you don't know how to be happy before retirement, you won't know how after. So what was I chasing for 40 years? I was chasing someday when everything is perfect, someday when I'm ready, someday when conditions are right. But someday doesn't exist. There's only today. And I wasted 40 years of todays waiting for a someday that never came. I wasn't waiting to be happy. I was avoiding being happy, because being happy now, with things imperfect, with life messy, with problems unsolved, that felt wrong somehow. I thought I had to earn happiness, had to achieve it, had to wait for it. But happiness isn't something you achieve. It's something you choose. Every single day you choose. You choose to enjoy the meal in front of you or wait until you've lost weight. You choose to take the trip or wait until you have more money. You choose to play with your kids or wait until you have more time. You choose to enjoy your work or wait until you retire. I chose to wait. For 40 years, and I lost everything that mattered while I was waiting. I'm 93 years old, and I finally stopped waiting about 10 years ago. Better late than never, I suppose. Now, when my grandkids ask me to play, I play. When a friend invites me to lunch, I go. When I want to buy something nice, I buy it. Not because I have all the time in the world, because I don't. Not because I have all the money in the world, because I don't need it. Not because everything is perfect, because it never will be. I stopped waiting, and I started living. And these last 10 years have been better than the 40 years I spent waiting. I'm 93 years old. I wasted 40 years chasing someday, and someday never came. But today is here, and I'm not wasting it anymore. I'm not waiting to be thinner, richer, more prepared, more deserving. I'm living now, imperfectly, messily, happily. And if an old woman who wasted 40 years can figure this out, so can you. Stop waiting. Stop chasing. Stop postponing your life. Live it now, while you still can. I'm tired now. Go live.